Then the envoy spoke again, voice serious, almost warning. "Your connection is not just a bond. It is a key," it said. "The key to a mission far beyond your understanding, far beyond Earth." The humans whispered among themselves, fear and excitement mixing together. "What mission? What does it mean?" one of them asked, voice shaking. The prototype turned to the human, calm but intense. "You must trust me," it said quietly, "or you will not survive what is coming." The human nodded, unsure why they trusted a being they barely knew, but inside they felt something strong, something they could not explain, a bond, a promise, a connection that went deeper than words. Outside the lab, the wind howled, strange and sudden. Shadows moved as if something large was coming closer. The humans huddled together, unsure who to follow or what to believe, but the prototype stood firm, ready, patient, unafraid, and the human knew, without doubt, that their life and the life of Earth would never be the same again. The collar's glow grew brighter for a moment, then faded, leaving a soft hum behind. The alien envoy's eyes shimmered as it spoke one last warning. "The law has been revealed. The mission begins now." The humans realized that the adventure had grown bigger, far bigger than they could imagine, and the prototype's calm, glowing eyes promised that the story was only beginning. The human ran through the city streets, heart pounding. Every shadow seemed alive, moving in ways that made them shiver. The prototype had disappeared suddenly after the alien law was revealed. It had left no trace, no message, only the faint hum of the collar still pulsing on their neck. The humans from the lab stayed behind, confused and afraid, but the human could not wait. They had to find the prototype before it was too late. As they turned a corner, a strange portal appeared in the middle of the street. The edges shimmered like liquid light, and the air around it hummed softly. The human hesitated for a moment, fear gripping their chest. Then they remembered the prototype's words, "Trust me, or you will not survive." With a deep breath, they stepped through the portal. On the other side, the world was different. The sky glowed with unfamiliar colors. Strange plants grew, in patterns humans could not understand. The air was thick, almost alive, and the ground pulsed faintly beneath their feet. The human could hear a soft hum in the distance. Guiding them forward, it was the prototype, calling them, showing them the way. Suddenly, a strange creature appeared, tall and thin, with eyes glowing like fire. It moved faster than the human could react. But before it could attack, the prototype appeared from the shadows. Its glowing eyes filled the creature with fear. It froze for a moment, then vanished. Retreating like a shadow, the human stared in amazement. Realizing just how powerful the prototype had become, they continued their journey. Moving carefully through the alien landscape, the prototype waited ahead, guiding them silently. Each step brought more questions, more danger. The human could feel the pull of the collar, stronger now, leading them closer to something important. The alien envoy had said it was a key, and now the human understood this was not just a game. This was a mission that could decide the fate of Earth itself. Finally, they arrived at a hidden chamber, glowing faintly in green and blue light. Inside, alien machines hummed softly, and strange symbols moved across the walls. The human could see the outline of the prototype standing in the center, calm and glowing. "You found me," the prototype said simply, its voice calm but powerful. The human nodded, trying to catch their breath. "What is this place? What is happening?" they asked, voice trembling. The prototype's eyes scanned the chamber, then focused on the human. "This is where Earth's future will be decided," it said. "An alien threat approaches, one that your scientists cannot even imagine. We must stop it together." The human looked around, seeing strange devices, portals, and weapons unlike anything on Earth. Fear mixed with awe, but they knew they had no choice. The air shimmered suddenly, a low vibration spreading through the chamber. The human realized the prototype had been guiding them not just to safety, but to knowledge, to the understanding of what was coming. A threat so powerful, it could destroy Earth if ignored. The human felt the bond of the collar pull them closer, stronger, and they knew that with the prototype, they could face what no human had ever faced before. The shadows in the chamber shifted, and a faint glow revealed the first signs of the alien threat. Creatures moving, machines activating, a force waiting to strike. The human's heart raced, but the prototype remained calm, patient, ready. And in that moment, the human understood that their life and The life of Earth was tied forever to this being. The hunt was over, but the real challenge had just begun. The chamber shook violently as the alien threat revealed itself. Tall, shadowy figures moved through the air, strange machines whirring and glowing with power. The humans stood close to the prototype. Feeling the bond of the collar pulled them together. Fear ran through their veins, but also courage. A courage they had never known before. The prototype stepped forward, glowing brighter than ever. Its eyes scanned the invaders, analyzing every movement, every weakness. "You must stay close," it said to the human, voice calm and commanding. The human nodded, gripping a strange weapon that pulsed with alien energy. Together, they moved as one, anticipating attacks and striking with precision. The alien figures attacked, moving faster than anything human eyes could follow. But the prototype was faster, stronger, almost untouchable. It moved with grace, using its powers to defend the human and strike the invaders. The human felt the collars, energy flowing through them, giving them strength, speed, and clarity. They dodged attacks, blocked weapons, and helped the prototype fight, amazed at what they could do. The chamber shook again, louder this time, pieces of the floor cracking under the power. The human realized the aliens were not just attacking, they wanted to destroy Earth itself. The prototype raised its hand, and a wave of energy pulsed outward. The aliens were thrown back, their machines sputtering, some vanishing into shadows. But more came, relentless, determined, unstoppable. The human knew they had to trust the prototype completely. "Together," they said, voice steady, "we can do this." The prototype nodded, and their minds connected through the collar. They could anticipate each other's moves, feel each other's thoughts, work as one. They moved through the chaos like a single being, unstoppable and precise. Finally, the largest alien machine appeared, towering over them. It glowed with dark energy, a force no human could fight alone. The human felt fear, but the prototype's calm strength gave them courage. "You are ready," the prototype said, and together they attacked. Energy clashed, sparks flew, and the chamber trembled as their power met the alien machine. With one final push, the prototype and human combined their strength. A blinding wave of light erupted, scattering the alien forces, breaking their machines. The chamber went silent, the shadows vanished, and the threat was gone. The human fell to their knees, exhausted but alive. The prototype stood tall, glowing softly, eyes calm and warm. The human looked up at it, understanding at last. The collar had bound them not just in law, but in trust, courage, and friendship. Earth was safer now, but the adventure was only beginning. The alien envoy appeared once more, nodding in approval. "The law has been honored. The mission accomplished," it said, "and Earth has a protector it never knew it needed." The human smiled, feeling the bond stronger than ever. The prototype looked at them, silent but full of meaning. Together, they had faced impossible odds and survived. Together, they would protect Earth, ready for whatever came next. And somewhere, beyond the stars, new adventures were waiting. The story of the prototype and the human was far from over. It had only just begun. The lab was quiet, except for the sound of humans laughing. In the center of the room stood a strange figure, tall and slim, with glowing eyes and movements that seemed slightly odd. The humans whispered to each other, pointing at the prototype. "He looks useless," one of them said, trying to hide a smirk. "He will never understand Earth science." Another added, laughing. The prototype stayed silent, its eyes following every human carefully. It did not laugh, it did not argue, it simply watched. Its mind was not empty, though. It was learning, observing, calculating. The humans did not notice how precise its movements were, how fast it could analyze. They only saw what they wanted to see, a failed experiment. Suddenly, a strange sound echoed through the lab, a metallic humming that made everyone stop talking. A bright light appeared in the corner, and from it came an alien envoy, tall and shining. Its voice was calm but strong. "You humans mock what you do not understand," it said. The humans froze, some taking a step back. Then the envoy held out a small device, a collar with strange symbols glowing faintly. "This collar," it explained, "is from my planet. Whoever removes it from a being will become their spouse, according to our law." The humans laughed nervously, thinking it was a joke. "Spouse," one of them whispered. "Are you serious?" Before anyone could react, one human, curious, and careless, reached out and removed the collar from the prototype. A sudden silence fell over the lab, the humming stopped, and the collar's glow vanished. The prototype's eyes shone brightly, almost like fire. The humans stepped back, fear and confusion in their eyes. Did that just happen? One of them asked, voice trembling. The prototype moved slowly toward the human who removed the collar, its movements smooth but powerful. Every step made the humans feel smaller, weaker, as if the room had changed. The prototype stopped in front of the human and tilted its head, observing. Then it spoke in a calm voice. Clear and strong, "You are now bound to me," it said. The words hung in the air, heavy and strange. The humans stared, not understanding, but feeling the weight of the law from another world. Outside the lab, the wind howled. As if the earth itself had sensed the moment, the humans whispered to each other, fear growing with every second. No one knew what to do. No one dared to touch the prototype. Even the scientists, who once laughed, now looked worried. The prototype did not move closer or farther. It simply waited, patient and silent. Then, suddenly, the lights flickered, and the prototype's eyes glowed even brighter. A small alarm went off in the lab. Strange and mechanical. It was not human technology. The humans realized it was something else, something powerful. The prototype turned slightly, scanning the room as if it could see through walls. The humans held their breath, not knowing what might happen next. The alien envoy watched silently, its expression unreadable. The human who removed the collar felt a strange pull in their chest. It was not fear, but something else. A connection they could not explain. The prototype looked at them again, and the world seemed to pause for a moment. Everyone in the lab knew that nothing would ever be the same again. The prototype was no longer just an experiment. It was a being of power and mystery, and the collar, once removed, had changed everything. The lab doors closed automatically, lights dimmed, and a strange hum filled the air. The humans were trapped in that moment, unable to leave or speak. They could only watch as the prototype's glowing eyes scanned them all, and somewhere deep inside, they knew this was just the beginning. The lab was quiet now, but the tension was thicker than ever. The humans whispered nervously among themselves, unsure what to do next. The prototype stood silently, its glowing eyes scanning everyone carefully. It did not speak, but its presence made the room feel smaller, heavier, as if the air itself had changed. The human who had removed the collar could feel it on their neck. Though it was gone, a strange energy seemed to connect them to the prototype, pulling them closer in ways they did not understand. They tried to speak, to ask questions, but the words stuck in their throat. The prototype moved closer, slow and deliberate, each step measured, powerful. The human's heart raced, a mix of fear and awe running through them. Suddenly, alarms went off in the lab, bright red lights flashing. Objects began to move on their own, papers flying, machines shaking. The humans panicked, stumbling back, some shouting, some frozen. In fear, the prototype raised its hand, and the chaos stopped instantly. Everything froze as if time itself had paused. The humans stared in shock, unable to comprehend what they had just seen. "Do not be afraid," the prototype said, its voice calm and steady. "It is only a warning. There are forces here you cannot see," it added. The human who removed the collar stepped forward, trying to understand. What do you mean? What is happening?" they asked, voice trembling. The prototype tilted its head, glowing eyes fixed on them. "You are now part of something bigger than Earth," it said, "something that could change everything." The humans began to murmur, fear and curiosity battling inside them. Some wanted to leave, to run away, but the lab doors remained locked. The prototype did not touch anyone, but the humans felt its power surrounding them. It was not threatening, not yet, but it was undeniable and real. Then, suddenly, the air shifted, the hum of machines replaced by a low, deep vibration. The walls of the lab seemed to ripple, as if reality itself was bending. A faint light appeared at the far end of the room, forming strange shapes. The humans gasped, realizing this was no ordinary technology. "This is alien," one whispered, eyes wide with fear and excitement. The prototype stepped closer to the human, their connection growing stronger. "You must trust me," it said quietly, "or you will not survive what is coming." The humans looked around, unsure who to believe. Some wanted to question, to fight, to leave, but but the strange energy kept them rooted. The prototype's gaze never left the human, and the human felt a strange calm amidst the fear. It was as if the prototype was showing them the truth without words. The other humans could only watch, unsure of what they were seeing. The prototype's calmness made its power even more frightening. Then, a loud crash echoed from outside the lab, followed by the sound of something heavy moving. The humans froze, hearts racing, fear gripping every one of them. The prototype turned its glowing eyes toward the noise. It moved silently, gracefully, as if it had already known what would happen. The human felt the pull again, stronger this time. "Stay close," the prototype said, "and do not look away." The lab doors shook, and a shadow appeared at the entrance, tall and moving with speed no human could match. The humans screamed, but the prototype stood firm, unmoved, ready for whatever came next. And in that moment, the human understood that this was only the beginning. The prototype was not just a machine or an experiment. It was something far greater, and now they were a part of it. The adventure had only just begun, and danger was closer than ever. The shadow at the lab entrance stopped suddenly, as if it had been waiting for something. The humans held their breath, frozen with fear and confusion. The prototype stepped forward, its glowing eyes piercing the darkness. The air seemed heavier, now, filled with an energy no human had ever felt. The alien envoy, still glowing faintly, floated silently in the corner. Its voice echoed, calm and deep. "You have broken a law older than Earth itself," it said. The humans looked at each other, panic rising in their eyes. "What law? What are you talking about?" one whispered, trembling. The prototype's eyes glowed brighter, and it spoke, voice strong and clear. "This is not your law. This is the law of my planet," it said. "You removed my collar. By our rules, you are now bound to me." The human who had removed the collar felt a shock run through their body. It was not pain, but a strange energy linking them to the prototype. They could feel the prototype's thoughts, calm, strong, and patient. It was as if their mind and the prototype's mind were touching, connecting in ways they did not understand. The humans gasped, disbelief written on their faces. How can this be? It's impossible," one of them said nervously. The prototype's gaze swept across the room, scanning each person. "You do not understand," Cliff said. "Your world is small, limited. You cannot see what we see, cannot feel what we feel." The alien envoy added, "Earth's laws mean nothing here. On our planet, bonds of the collar are sacred, unbreakable, eternal." Suddenly, the collar on the human's neck, though invisible, now glowed faintly. A soft hum filled the room, vibrating through every wall, every floor, every person. The human felt it pulling them closer to the prototype. It was strange, not frightening, but powerful, and impossible to resist. The other humans watched in awe, some taking a step back, some tried to speak, but the sound caught in their throats. The prototype's power was real, undeniable, and growing.